In the studio, we've got UK rapper Itch. Welcome to Straight from the Hungry Pit. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for having me.
And first things first, welcome to New Zealand, because I'm not sure, have you actually been to New Zealand before?
No, this is my first time.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is my first time.
And what were you expecting from the place? Because so many people from the UK, America, they're like, oh, I'm going to New Zealand, it's Lord of the Rings, we're expecting to see hobbits walking around and women that look like Lord.
Yeah.
What's your perception of
Well,
the
I've
place?
actually seen a couple of hobbits and a couple of women who look like Lord already, so it was pretty spot on actually. Yeah.
Where were you hanging out? I want to find
I mean, everywhere I go, there's a couple hobbits.
Yeah.
Generally, yeah. But yeah, it's been beautiful so far. Genuinely, it's like I've been really impressed by it, and it's a genuinely like beautiful place, and I'm happy to be here.
All you need now is some honey.
All I need is a little honey and served by a hobbit. It'll be great.
And tell us about your background music, because not everybody down the barrel there, not everyone actually knows a bit of your background. So where it all start for you? I know you've been in the music industry for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, I was in a sort of a punk rock hip hop band called the King Blues for 10 years in like UK and Europe, and then I kind of went solo about 2.5 years ago or something like that, and now I'm just starting to put out my own stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of this would stem from your background. So what was the rap scene like for you growing up from where you're from?
I mean, the UK scene is very localised. UK hip hop is really quite a new thing. Do you know what I mean? It hasn't really been about for that long. There was a long time of rappers trying to put on American accents and it being quite embarrassing. But it kind of came into its own, I think, about 15 years ago, where people like the Streets, Roots Maneuver, really kind of helped shape it into its own thing, where people were talking about their own lives, their own culture, and that for me was when it started to get interesting.
Do you think it's quite a difficult thing to make it as an international rapper?
I think it's a strength and a weakness. Do you know what I mean? If you go to somewhere like America where every other person is a rapper, do you know what I mean? Every third person, you go with something different and they take to that. If you're not whack, do you know what I mean? You go with something different, people like it. So I think it's nice to be able to. The interesting thing to me about hip hop is like you can go around the world and say who you are, and people will relate to it if they're real people. So it's
and like
universal.
You said, you go around the world and you're saying who you are. When I listen to your music, it sounds like there's kind of like a message, and they're like an underlining message of achieving what you want to achieve in life. I hear that a lot in your music. Is that what you aim to achieve?
I mean, yeah, it's really about fighting and the struggle, and that's
yeah. And your debut album, which is out at the moment, that is called The Deep End. A single we're going to throw to very soon from that, it's called Another Man. Can you tell me about that single? And also, there's a very sexy lady in this video as well. Tell me a bit about her as well.
What do you want to know?
Oh, I just want to know who she is. I like the voice. I like what I'm seeing.
Well, the song is featuring Megan Joy, who couldn't make it to the video, unfortunately. But it was really just like a fun song I wrote with my producer, a girl called BC Jean. They originally had the demo of the chorus going round while I was staying at the studio, and I kind of heard it and was like, yo, just give me a shot of those verses. And it was like within an hour we'd kind of written and recorded it. It was just like it was one of those fun songs to do.
Yeah, and what's coming up in the pipeline for you? Are there more music videos you can drop that we can play on Juice?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got stuff coming up for sure.
Any details? Got some exclusives for us?
Yeah. My next single is going to be called Laugh, featuring Mattis Yahoo, and can't wait for you guys to hear it.
Thank you so much for coming to the studio and having a chat with me. It was good having you on the Hungry Pit, and you need to taste some of that honey sometime. Here is Another Man here on Juice TV.